guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought we would do another sit down video and I thought I'd have Doug on.
Hello.
Because I feel kind of weird just not talking to you guys as much as I'm used to, especially with Doug. So I wanted to do like a little series on my channel where we talk about like parenthood struggles and like marriage after children and things like that, and basically just chat with Doug.
This is all news to me, by the way.
Yeah, he has no idea. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about basically like marriage after 2 years. So Doug and I are married for 2 years in July, so it's coming up. Isn't that crazy? I know. We wanted to talk about marriage after having a baby, and I also just kind of wanted to go over some things that we would have changed about our wedding. I still get asked a ton of questions about like wedding planning and how we found our venue and what we would have changed about our wedding, because it was pretty, I mean, budget friendly for California. Yeah, we like found a venue on Airbnb and we planned it all ourselves. I like did my own flowers, and I have a whole wedding series playlist, which I'll link below if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, I still get questions about that, and Doug did a lot of stuff too as far as like the DJ stuff.
I was the DJ.
He was the DJ. And we loved our wedding, but I wanted to just basically give you guys some tips for all of the brides-to-be that are watching my channel, because we do get a lot of questions about that still. So before we get into the tips, today's video is actually sponsored by ZOLA. If you guys don't know what ZOLA is, it's basically an incredible resource for brides-to-be, and not just like for brides and grooms, but also for like maid of honors, if you are, you know, a maid of honor of any wedding, or bridesmaid. Because if you know anybody that's getting married, or if you're getting married yourself, everything is basically in one place on the ZOLA website, and it's definitely a resource that we wish we had known, because we were pretty flustered when it came to like registering for things.
Yeah.
I felt weird asking for gifts. I was so discombobulated, I don't know why I use that word, but when it came to like sending RSVPs and getting the right addresses and like having a checklist for everything,
I just assumed people were gonna show up and do things.
No, I just like had a bunch of like notes everywhere. I didn't have anything like in one place online. I didn't even know this kind of site or like this resource actually existed when we got married 2 years ago. Anyway, ZOLA has a bunch of different features. Number one, they are a registry site, and they have over 500 top brands to choose from as far as like physical products to register for. So like beds and sheets and cookware and like a bunch of different stuffs. But the thing I really liked about it, because Doug and I weren't so thrilled about getting like, I mean, we were very grateful about getting physical products like sheets and like pots and pans.
Let's not make this awkward.
No. We were very grateful, but there are other things that you can register for that I didn't even think of, like experiences, wine tasting, or classes. And you can also do a cash fund on there that's super easy. So if you feel like you need money for the down payment on your house, you can do like a cash fund rather than just registering for gifts. Or you can also start like a donation to charity that your guests can go through. So I think that's a really awesome feature as well. The other thing I love it for is that they have really beautiful wedding designs as far as like websites, so wedding websites. They also have a customizable checklist that you can rearrange items on and add things, and it helps you just like stay a lot more organized. So like order your dress, alterations.
Send your invites, pick the food.
And the other thing I love about it is that they also have an RSVP manager, so you can have all your addresses in there and saved in one place. So if you send, what?
We would sit there, I was like, is this person coming? Yes.
Dude,
is this their address?
We would have used this so much. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, we definitely would have loved that feature. So yeah, click the link below to receive $50 to spend on ZOLA, and you have to sign up through my link. So make sure to check that out below. And yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the video. So we've been married for 2 years, almost.
Not even.
Give or take.
It's
coming up. Douglas, what is the one thing you've learned? I'm totally putting him on the spot. I'm not like asking these questions. What's the one thing you've learned, like a thing you didn't expect about marriage in these past 2 years?
What's been really different was like the early stages, boyfriend, girlfriend to marriage.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like that was totally different.
Totally different.
So here are the things that I didn't realize in terms of a mental shift for marriage.
I don't know what he's gonna say.
You do a lot more for the other person than you think you would. Like it's no longer about like what I want to do and let's go do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what do you want to do, or what do we want to do?
Hence right now we're filming a video for my channel.
Yeah. So that was like a really big change that I had to get used to, because when I was young, I had like all these aspirations for things I wanted to do when I had money.
Yeah, when you had money.
Yeah.
And we just now, I mean, I'm 26, he's 27, and we thought that when we got married, we'd have all this magical money, and we were dirt broke.
I know. just the poorest of the poor.
I mean, we're not the poorest of the poor. We were living by the beach, but for California standards and like just compared to other people, I guess, which doesn't even matter, but we were broke.
I know.
Like we had student loan debt. It was crazy. And we didn't know what we were doing with our lives. Like I quit my job for YouTube, which is crazy. And Doug was doing SEO, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, what was the one thing?
So like the thing that I didn't realize really is that everything that you do is like as one person now. And I don't mean like taxes and those kinds of things, because that's understandable. Like you expect to do those kinds of things. I mean like everything you do together. Yeah. I think the one thing that has surprised me most about like being married is like planning your life goals. Like when you're just dating, you're not thinking about retirement. You're thinking about what you want to eat later that night. How long you get to binge watch Netflix till you fall asleep. Like that's what we did for fun, and we miss those sweet days. Like not gonna lie. I don't want to binge watching. Yeah, we binge watch a lot. You guys will know if you watch my channel back then. But I think like just, I don't know, we do a lot more adult things. Like I don't know if it's because we have a baby and like we have to think about her future, but lately I feel like our adulting has been on another level. Especially with moving across the country away from your family. Starting a business is insane. Yeah. And we're doing all of this for like our family's growth. And like you don't do those I mean, a lot of people start businesses when they're without kids, but we just happen to not. Yeah, just like a lot more like life planning. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to ask Doug and just like tell you guys about what my thoughts is what we would have changed about our wedding. So we did this whole video, I don't even know if you remember, I'll link it down below, and I go like in depth, like I talk about down to the penny how much money we spent and like how we found certain things and like what we would have changed. But I think like my mind shift has changed even 2 years from that, because we did that video 2 years ago. Yeah. And like what I would have changed about my wedding now. I do want to say I wouldn't change anything. Obviously that's a cliche like answer, but you know, at the time we didn't have hardly any money. Let's just call it like enhancements. How would you enhance? Enhance, yes. Enhance. If I had more money, which I wouldn't have, but at the time if I had more money, because we paid for the majority of the wedding ourselves, being like 24, 23, I don't even know, I was so young. We paid for a lot of it ourselves, so that was a huge burden on us. And I know like a lot of my friends are getting married now and they're talking about like, oh my god, Hayley, can't believe weddings are 30 grand, or that's like the start of a wedding. Like a wedding in Southern California is like 30 grand to start. And I'm like, to rent the venue, yeah. And I'm like, I know, this is why we almost eloped. And I definitely don't regret having a wedding, because if you guys remember, if you follow my channel, we were talking about eloping. Doug was against it because he has like his grandma's still alive. I don't have any alive grandparents that are living. And he wanted like certain people to be there. And I did too, but I just knew it was gonna be expensive. Then I realized that like eloping is just as expensive. Like, I'm not eloping, like a destination wedding with a few people. It's just like a lot to ask. We paid for, I don't even know how much it was. It wasn't a ton of money, but we put like some of the wedding on our credit card. It was like not a big deal in my head. I was like, oh, I'll just put the flowers on my credit card. But you don't want to start marriage in debt, I think, if you can help it, because we already had student loan debt. What do you feel about that? Yeah, it's just, we didn't budget enough. Yeah, you don't want to start off on the wrong foot. Yeah, with extra stress. Like, because like one of the top things about stress in marriage is like financial situation. Yeah. You're gonna walk into marriage with X amount of dollars in debt. Yeah, and we didn't have a lot, but still, like that's also not even the fact that we had the debt, but because it's just like a bad financial plan for the rest of like your marriage. Like, but I mean, I can't take it back because we learned our lesson. We'll never do it again. But like, it wasn't a lot. Our wedding, I think in total cost like 17 grand, which to some people is a lot. To some people it's like dirt poor, depending on where you live. But we did not put all 17 grand like on it. It was like a couple grand, but still, like I remember being in Japan, riding like, because we went to Japan for our honeymoon. Do you remember? Riding the train, and we were in an argument because I was like, OMG, like we need to pay this shit off, like, you know? And I mean, that's annoying. Like, and I was just sitting there like, we should just be in Japan. I know. Doug didn't care. He's like, forget about it. But anyways. But you know what did happen? What? Was when we were in Japan, we literally put all of our money towards the wedding. Yeah. And when we were in Japan, we had when we were in Japan, our honeymoon,
and it's not that expensive. We still had so much fun, but we couldn't do the things we wanted to do because we didn't want to go into more debt.
Like we couldn't splurge.
No.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to do like a proper like tea setting ceremony, and those are so expensive, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm happy that we learned our lesson. I mean, we're completely different now, but I don't think I've shared that on my channel, and like everything might look peachy. You might have like a friend that has an amazing wedding. You don't know what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, I wish I could have that.
They could be neck deep in debt, and you
but
never
they
know.
probably aren't. That's a bad like thing to think about. But
I probably would have put more songs on our dance playlist.
okay, I was gonna say somehow, I know we were broke, but I was gonna say get a DJ.
No, I didn't need a DJ. And you know, a DJ would have been fun.
We had a small wedding. It was like 35 people.
But here's what happened.
So.
For those of you guys that don't know, I signed up for a Spotify premium trial.
It's gonna sound like,
like
I'm gonna insert some pictures.
Like a couple days
it's gonna sound
before the
janky.
wedding.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah. No, it was awesome.
But
and then so me and my groomsmen are getting dressed like in the hotel room. So we're all like a bunch of half-naked dudes like in the hotel room.
Okay.
Like, okay, you want to play this song? And it's like Fergie, and we're like, do we want to listen to Fergie at the wedding? No, let's not do that.
Oh my god. This was like his one task. Like, please choose like normal songs, and he's doing it last minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get this question a lot, so I wanted to answer it. Since we had Annabelle unplanned, for those of you guys that are new, I was, I think, like 16 weeks pregnant at my
4
wedding.
months, yeah.
And obviously wouldn't change it for the world. But when would we have had kids if we didn't have her?
Dude, like right after we got married.
No. No.
That's what I think.
What would you would have wanted?
I don't know. I think it would have been, we would have waited a little bit.
I think I would have waited 2 years.
So we could have like spent time being married.
And you know what's so crazy to me is like, I always see people in my Facebook group being like, I would have gotten married, you know, or I would have had kids later because I would want to travel. We didn't have no money for travel. We were 23.
Nothing.
24. Like, I mean, travel wasn't really an option. Yeah. What would we have done? Like, watch more Netflix?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no right time for children.
No, we would have just spent time being like married.
Yeah.
And being husband and wife.
I think that's important.
Of moving, like, straight into.
I think it's important.
Instead, instead of being straight into like mother and father.
Yeah, because that's uber stressful.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyways, but you know, that's all in hindsight. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is marriage after children. This is like such a big topic in my little private Facebook group, which I'll link below. I get things on all spectrums as far as like, it's better, it's worse, it's miserable, I have no time for my partner, stressful. Do you want to go? Well, let's talk about our first year being married with a child. How would you sum that year up?
It was buck wild.
Buck frickin' wild. I don't know if it was me. I think it was me because I'm a crazy person. But
man, I remember.
Guys, last year.
Look at this will like set the tone for our entire year of being married with a kid. I walk in, Hayley's holding Annabelle. She was born like 2 or 3 days ago, maybe like a day and a half. And Hayley's sitting there going, shh.
What
like
are you
shaking
doing?
The baby, like not shaking,
okay,
but like just shushing her. And I'm like, Hayley, maybe you shouldn't. And she goes, shh. That's what it was.
There's no time for your spouse. Like, if you tell me you have time for your spouse before they're, I mean, I think this is a first child thing. We're gonna find out if I'm just as crazy as my second. But I mean, I think it's like the first time parent. Because this can be thrown back on you, because one time we went to the doctor's appointment, Annabelle had to have her tongue tie clipped.
Oh yeah.
It was traumatic, and Doug yelled at me because I like held her wrong in the thing.
No, well, okay.
Let's not talk,
Another thing that happened was like, I was critiquing the way Hayley was like holding Annabelle to breastfeed.
He was critiquing my latch.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious right now? Like, what are you doing?
That is like a stab to the soul. I almost literally killed him. Like, you don't even know. Because she was already screaming from like getting her tongue tie clipped.
Yeah, it's
so stressful.
Yeah, it's so stressful that I just throw all of my feelings out for Hayley and just want to like fix everything with Annabelle.
Yeah, like he doesn't care. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, this was like non-existent.
It was
like
crazy.
Honestly. And then I realized like when she turned 1 year, it's almost like the clouds separated, and I was like, oh my god, like I think I can do parenthood. Like, it's not as bad as I was making. It's like all in my head, I think. I don't know. But I feel like once they turn 1 year old, it's like more manageable.
Yeah, the marriage comes back.
The marriage comes back. That's so depressing.
Yeah.
But the years are short, like they say. What is it?
Yeah.
Years are short. I don't know the rest of the phrase. I get told it all the time.
I don't know what that phrase is.
The days are long, but the years are short.
Oh.
The freaking year is long, okay? It literally It's so long, but it's so worth it, obviously.
72-hour days.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even asleep. Like, I don't even know. Yeah. But marriage is so hard, like, at the first whole year. Yeah. But now I feel like it's good, and watch, we're doing it again.
No, it's amazing.
We're literally going to do this again.
And it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I already know that it's going to be, because we know that everything's going to be fine. We were just stressing so hard.
I just thought it was, like, never going to end. Like, the stress would never end about, like, breastfeeding and me being a psycho.
Yeah, it was true. She was a psycho.
I just, like, had a lot of attachment towards Annabelle. I think it's because she's my first, and now I'm totally fine. Like, before I could not barely hear her cry, like, for the first, like, 6, 7, 8 months. Like, if she cried, like, in the car,
she'd freak out. She'd start crying.
Like
Hayley would start crying.
That was like 2 weeks postpartum. Okay, that wasn't like yesterday. But I could not take her crying. My parents make fun of me for it. They're like, you can't even take her whimpering. But I am so much better.
No.
I mean, if she cries now because she wants something, I'm like,
you're like, okay,
suck it up. Like, right?
Yeah.
I'm not that bad. I think
Unless she's actually hurting, then.
Oh, obviously, yeah. But I think I'm, like, less sensitive to it.
Sometimes she's not.
Doug's definitely changed
Sometimes
too.
It flares. Yeah.
It flares. I think it's a first time mom thing. But would you say that, like, your first year as a parent, like how have you changed after the first year?
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't as, like, attachment-y as I was hovery.
Oh yeah.
I was like watching her breathe.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was like,
somebody posted in the Facebook group the other day being like, when does this end? I keep thinking like my baby has died. Like,
yeah.
But it's not just you.
I had to keep looking in the
we
the
still
back
sometimes
seat.
Do it.
Yeah, I still check the
Doug
back seat.
is more paranoid about like
Annabelle falls asleep.
Because she lays on her belly now.
Yeah, I'm like, is her airway okay? Like,
oh my god, yeah, it's so stressful. That's stressful right there.
So marriage becomes less about
each other,
and like it becomes more about everyone. Well, for a period of time it's only the baby.
The baby.
But then after that it's like a lot more fun.
But I don't know if this is the first time thing, like the first kid.
Yeah.
I feel like it partially is because now we know what to expect and like we'll know to like not freak out. You guys, I have no idea. We're gonna find out. Obviously we vlog everything, but I think it's the first time. Do you think it's the first time thing?
I think it's a first time thing. I hope so.
First time parent, but we'll see. So the next question that I get asked is, how do you keep love alive with a baby? Go ahead, Douglas.
Oh, she always throws these kinds of questions onto me. It's all about identifying a sleep pattern. Understanding REM sleep. So you know when they're actually asleep.
No. Let's not go into detail. OMG. What? Okay, go ahead. Say something else besides that.
I don't know what to say.
Not that kind of love, just in general.
How do you keep the love
He doesn't even know, obviously. It doesn't keep, it's not alive.
No, it's still alive. You have to remember the little quirks and the little nuances of things that you did before the baby.
Yeah.
Because those little things and those little moments are the times where like you remember. Like there are times
while you're with that person.
Yeah. But it's true because like when you're with the baby, you just think about the baby, this like 14-week-old baby.
Yeah.
That's just like sitting there, like can't even feed itself or anything.
Yeah.
But once the baby goes to sleep, like something happens and you just like click and
you're just like back to normal.
Just back to normal.
But the sleep is very short-lived. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Even when they do sleep through the night, you're tired. You want to go to sleep.
Yep.
So I think you just have to like make a point to like not always think about your child. So that's about it for today's little life chat video. I think for the next one, I wanted to talk about like life before, like not life, but I guess life before children. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I wanted to talk about like being single, like college days and like being single.
We should talk about college days.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys have any topics that you'd want us to talk about, because I just think these are fun to have. Like, I just want to make these videos for myself. Yeah.
Like reflecting on life.
Yeah. So yeah, leave a comment below if you guys have any suggestions, and like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye guys.